What's up everyone, this is Bank Browse and I'm here to tell you how you can earn an easy WoW token every month by using cross-server Battle Pet Arbitrage. Let's get down to business. So what is cross-server Battle Pet Arbitrage? Simply put, it's buying a battle pet cheaply on one server, transferring it over to another server, and selling it there for more gold. Pretty simple concept. If something is selling for 50 gold on server A and selling for 200 gold on server B, you can buy it on server A, post it up on server B, and make 150 gold, obviously, minus the auction house take of that. So the concept is pretty simple. So when I heard about it about 2 years ago, I decided to test it out. I started out really modestly. I didn't have a ton of gold at the time, so I would keep my initial purchase price per battle pet to be less than 500 gold. Not a lot of risk there. And I only had 2 servers at the time. Now I have 7. So what I would do is I would search the auction house using TSM, and I'll get into the add-ons needed to make this system work later. So searching the auction house on TSM, a lot of you probably already have TSM, so I won't belabor the point. But this will search all battle pets. I take it into just being the rare battle pets to filter out some of the common battle pets to make the scan a little quicker. And I would scan the house for these pets and just try to find cheap ones. I didn't know what sold at the time. I didn't know what pets were considered good pets or fast selling pets. So I would just scan the auction house, see what pets were cheap. For instance, there's this Sister of Temptation here. It's 50 gold. That seems pretty cheap to me. So what I would do is I would find that find that pet to buy on my home server, in this case Sister of Temptation, and then I would go to the underminejournal.com, look up my other realm, let's call it the target realm, and I would search for the Sister of Temptation on that target realm. Now, the Undermine Journal will have relatively current auction house prices as of their last scan, and they also keep historical prices in case you want to look that up as well to see, what's been posted, what the volume is, things like that. So I would look it up for the target realm, and let's say the target realm is selling for 200 gold. So I know that I could buy this Sister of Temptation battle pet, transfer it over to the target server, and list it for a profit. It might not sell, but I could at least list it for a profit and minimize the risk profile here. And then after determining that I could in fact sell it or at least list it for a profit on the other server, I would purchase the battle pet and write it down in a spreadsheet that I had, which kept track of when I bought the pet, how much it was for, which server I bought it on, and then also, what the target server was and how much I intended to sell it for, just to cover all my bases. And at the end of this experiment, I'd be able to figure out whether or not cross-server arbitrage is a workable thing for me and the time I had to devote to this. And what I figured out is through trial and errors, there's a system that you can use. Other people use variations of this system, but it's a time and time again tested and true system that for a very small amount of time you can buy and flip battle pets across several servers, and that would be able to give you an easy WoW token every month, even easier now that token prices have dipped in the last few weeks since the Battle for Azeroth expansion has come out. So, like a dork, I've already kept the spreadsheets, I've already proven that it works, so you don't have to do all of that. If you want to still look things up on the Intermine Journal to make sure that you can sell the battle pets, that's great. Or you can take the other uh, tact and go with simply buying up cheap battle pets on your home server and then seeing what ones will sell on your target server. I would recommend having a few target servers if you already have several servers that you have different characters on. The main barrier to entry on selling on a new server is simply having the gold to post the auctions. And it costs about a silver to post an auction for a battle pet. And an easy way to get gold on a server without having to, beg people or try to sell things, do quests. Don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Create an allied race character on a new server. They start with about, I think it's 1 gold, so that's 100 listings that you can do. And when I'm testing out a new server to see its viability for Battle Pet Arbitrage, if I haven't sold what I want to sell within 100 postings, then that server isn't going to work out for me. It's not worth my time. It's not worth the investment. So then after those 100 postings, I know it's not going to be worth it, and then I just cut my losses, delete the character, and move on to another server. So with this system, the add-ons that you'll need are TSM with the desktop app that does the scanning for you automatically, so you don't have to scan while you're in game. If you have any questions about TSM, like if you're not using it already, look up other guides on YouTube. There's already a ton of really in-depth guides on how to set it up, how to work with it, things like that. The next app you'll need, or the next add-on you'll need, is the Rematch add-on, which I have over here on the left-hand side of my screen. It rescans the default pet journal that's in game, and it'll also, with the Rematch TSM pet values add-on, it will give you these values underneath the name. So for this Dark Moon Tonk, I can tell this left hand side one, it's 16.5k gold is what the minimum buyout was on this server as of the last scan. And on the right hand side, it's about 15.5k is what the regional market value average is. So this is a really handy add-on. I recommend it wholeheartedly. It saves a ton of time. You don't have to look anything up. You can just see what the last scans are right here on Rematch. So those are the 3 add-ons that you'll need to make this system work. Now, what is the system itself? What do you do on a daily basis? What rules do you abide by to make this system work? The key rule here is that when you're searching for battle pets to buy, you buy up to 40% of region market value. And when you sell them, you set your minimum price in TSM to be 60% of region market value. What this results in is pretty much a guarantee that you will at least make 50% profit when you sell an item. Now, the region market value can change, but since it's a region market value average over all the servers in your region, it's fairly stable. It can change over time, So there's no foolproof way that you would never take a loss when you sell, but the region market value changes so slowly that this is a fairly decent way to eliminate risk. And you'll notice that's a fairly big theme. There's very little risk and the profit potentials are fairly high. Now the downside is that it takes a long time to sell these. But we'll get into the pros and cons later. So the key rule is buy up to 40% of region market value and set your minimum price at 60% of region market value. So it won't post onto the auction house if it's below 60% of region market value. So what does your routine look like every day? And I would suggest that you do this every day. You won't find enough good deals, especially if you only have a couple of servers, to quickly outfit your stock of battle pets. And the key here is you'll want as high volume as you can. Battle pets don't sell extremely frequently, so to counteract that, you'll want a lot of volume, a lot of auctions up on your auction house. So you'll want to do this every day. It's what I did about every single day that I logged onto the game. And it worked for me. I'd say in about a month or so, I had 5 servers going, and I was making several pet sales a day. And that's with minimal time investment. So what you'll do is you'll start out, you'll log into your character, you'll scan the auction house for pets to buy. So you'll be on server A looking to see if there's another server you can sell those battle pets on. And again, you can either use the Undermine Journal to guarantee you can post it for a profit on another server, or you can simply buy up cheap battle pets, 50 to 100 gold, maybe up to 500 gold if you're, risk averse, a couple thousand gold if you have expendable gold that you can sock into this. Now this will help you learn the market either way you do it. Whether you look them up manually on the Undermine Journal or you just buy them up and then transfer them over servers and see what sells. Either way you go with this, you'll learn the market, which is probably the most valuable thing about this, is learning what will work and what won't work, especially for your own servers. All servers are unique, so some things that will work on my server may not work on your server. So like the Sister of Temptation battle pet right here. Maybe on my servers that sells pretty well, but on your servers, everybody either already has one or they're not interested in it, so it doesn't sell very well. Knowing those little differences on a server by server basis, that can really help you out. And that's one of the main benefits of this system. So after figuring out which battle pets you want to buy to sell on other servers, you would go and, let's just go ahead and say that there's this Sister of Temptation here selling for 50 gold. And I looked it up on the Undermine Journal for my other server, and it's selling for 200 gold there. So I'm like, yes, I definitely want to buy this pet so I can sell it for a profit on my other server. Buy that out here. And next we'll go to our mailbox and we'll see what we've sold, what we bought, things like that. Now the next thing that we'll do after we've collected those battle pets is we'll go into the rematch add-on. So the first thing we do in the first part of the day is scan our auction house to see what cheap pets we can buy and sell for a profit on other servers. The next the next big step is to go through the rematch add-on and see what pets we could possibly sell on this server that we already have in our pet journal. So scrolling through here, oh look, we have a Chaos Pup pet right here that's selling for about 38k or 3.8k, and the region market value is at about 2.4, 2.5k. Now what I do here is if the uh, if the current minimum buyout, which is this value on the left, is above or about equal to the value on the right, I will cage the pet and attempt to sell it on this server, at least them to post it on the auction house. So we want to sell this, so right click on it, click put in cage, yes, and this will be cage, and now we have it here. And as you can see at the bottom of this tooltip, it says the minimum buyout is 3.8k and the region market value average is about 2.5k. So next what you'll do is you'll go through all of your pets that you have, and here we also have the Hygel Wisp. That's selling for 11.3k and the region market value is about 8.7k. So I'll right click that, click put in cage, yes. So we have that in our bags now. And just scanning the rest of the pets that I have. Fairly slim pickings. I've already went through and dispersed all of my battle pets to my other servers, so not a ton of battle pets here. Now the next step here is to go ahead and, with the battle pets that we have in our inventory right now, go and run a post scan. Now what that'll do is that'll post your pet scan, that'll post your battle pets that you want to sell. And I only sell one or post one battle pet, post one of a battle pet to sell per server. So as you see here, Chaos Pup, there's already have one up on the auction house. So the maximum amount already posted, that means I already have one up on there. So I'll cage this one and save it for another day, see if I can sell another server. And I'm just waiting for the rest of this scan to finish up. And you'll notice here that the Hygel Wisp, it's undercutting the competition for about 11.3k. So just go through, post all that, and then the Hygel Wisp will be moved out of your inventory. It'll be up on the auction house. But the Chaos Pup and the Sister of Temptation pets that we have, those will remain in your inventory. And after you've done the post scan and posted all the pets you can, the pets left in your inventory, those can go back into your pet journal, so you can go to another server, check your pet journal there to see if the minimum buyout exceeds the region market value there. In that case, you would cage the pet and try to sell it on that server. So that's the daily routine that you would do for every server. The biggest chunk of time there per server would simply be the auction house scans, either the posting scan or the shopping scan. And those can take a long time, so what I do is I have Netflix or YouTube up on my other monitor, and I'll watch a series or a YouTube video, see what the latest Taliesin and Evitel weekly reset video is, and I'll watch that while the shopping scan is going or the post scan is going. So it's not that much of a time commitment as long as you have something else to occupy your time on the computer. So now to wrap up the video, what are the positives and negatives of using this system? And in general, cross-server Battle Pet Arbitrage. Well, the pro is there's very little risk, especially if you're using the Undermine Journal to figure out what servers and what battle pets make good combinations, where you can buy cheap on one server to sell normal or high on another server. And then I also keep my initial investments, at least at the beginning, fairly modest, usually under 500 gold. And then as I got more successful and got, recorded sales and pretty consistent sales, I expanded my definition of modest. So I would buy up to maybe 1,000, 2,000 gold battle pets. And then up to 10, 20, 30. I've even bought like 50 to 100,000 being the initial purchase price. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the battle pets with the lower sale prices, usually under 5k, those sell pretty well, but once you get over 5k, the sale rate drops pretty dramatically, especially like 10, 15k. So those won't move as quickly. Because if somebody wants a battle pet and it's selling for 1,000 gold is, with the with Legion and its order halls and their gold missions, and then all of the world quests that had gold. The quests themselves give 20 plus gold a piece for just regular questing in a zone. Uh, Gold was fairly plentiful, so 1,000 gold, people aren't going to think too much about that. But once it gets up to 5, 10, or over, that's when the sales will start slowing down. So you can buy those higher ones when you're just starting out, but I didn't personally. I wanted to keep to the smaller ones, the ones that had a lower level barrier to entry. And now, what are the downsides of this? Well, in general, it has a fairly high upfront investment in your time, just because you'll have to spend time to build up stock. You can kind of think of it as if you've either flipped or farmed transmog. The prevailing wisdom is to build up a large stock of items because they don't sell very regularly. So the way to counteract that is to build up a stock of items so that even though it's a very small percent chance you'll sell any individual item, that once you have 50 plus items, things start to get a little more regular. And especially if you're not selling things that cost, 50,000 gold plus, which those move even slower. And I've had several ones that wouldn't sell for months. So I'd buy a pet for 50,000 gold that I'd want to sell for 120,000 gold, but the pet wouldn't move for 3 or 4 months. So I'd be out that 50,000 gold for 3 or 4 months. And that's another thing to think about is the gold you invest, you may not immediately get it back, even if you can eventually sell it at a profit. So there's that kind of opportunity cost there. So if you're new to this market, don't go overboard and put all of your money into it. whatever you really feel comfortable with, that'll work, even if what you feel comfortable with is only a couple thousand gold. That'll at least get you exposed to the market and get you learning the market, which once you get comfortable with how the market moves and what pets sell, you know, what pets to buy, when to buy them, things like that, this gets a lot less risky. I don't, at this point, when I buy a pet, I'm going to sell it eventually, so it doesn't matter whether it sells in the next week or sells in 6 months from now. Um, I have enough stock that it kind of evens out those ups and downs. And again, like the hardest part is just waiting for these shopping scans. If you took out the shopping scan time, it would only take 5 minutes per server, if that. Something else that I found that makes the scans go a little quicker, maybe it's just confirmation bias, but finding a place like I usually go into Silver Moon or a less populated place, like the main auction house in Orgrimmar is going to be a lot of people there, and I noticed that scans tend to go quicker when you're at a place that's less populated. And my final offering to you is that since it's the scans that take so long, bring up YouTube, bring up Netflix, bring up something else. Like maybe you have homework that you're doing, or some sort of project, like side project that you're doing personally for yourself. Get something up on another monitor or minimize WoW while you're going for those scans, and do something else that instead of just staring at the screen that gets super duper boring. So bring up Netflix or YouTube and have something else on in the background. No, I thank you for watching. Let me know your questions or comments down in the comments section. I'd be happy to hear them. Thanks.